Hello everyone, welcome to Nathan Talk Sports. We've got a busy week in sports. I'll start off with the Celtics. We're down 3-2 in the series at the moment. Been a very back and forth series. Came back from a Game 3 heartbreaker where our game-tying tip-in happened just after the buzzer. Marcus Smart should have had 3 free throws, but the refs are dumb. And they gave us a non-shooting foul, so we got 2 free throws. Smart had to miss the second, and we lost. Game 4, huge comeback win. Al Horford, 30 points in 42 minutes. Matching his number 42, by the way. Just had to point that out. And in Game 5, we had a lead, big lead going into the fourth, and we choked it away. Up by 1. Bucks missed a free throw, and of course, Bobby Portis gets the offensive rebound and puts it in to give the Bucks the lead. We lost by 3. Now we're down 3-2, headed to Milwaukee, and this is going to get worse. This feels over. Giannis is getting every call this series, and now he is going home. Giannis is getting every fucking call. It's embarrassing. Like, seriously? There's superstar treatment, and then there's Giannis treatment. I thought the NBA only rigs like this against small markets, not for them. Well, that's not right either, but that's the NBA's way. But this is an overcorrection by the NBA, and they need to stop. All right, Bruins update. Series is tied 3-3. I'm going to talk about Game 4 for a second. Tony DeAngelo versus Brad Marchand. Marchand went after DeAngelo. People think he called him a racist, but which he is, by the way. He's had multiple racial incidents. But I think this is at the end of the first period. He has a very troubled past. I think he said he was joking saying, "How's your Mother's Day?" But we all know he didn't say that. I'm not sure if he said you're a racist, but I have a different thing that he said. He said you're a fucking piece of shit. Because he is. Alright, best part. End of Game 3. Marchand's going toward an empty net, and DeAngelo throws his stick at him. Trying to stop him from scoring. If the stick hit him, it would have been a goal. Marchand scored anyways because he's awesome. 3 goals, 2 assists, all 5 points, in a 5-2 win. Oh my god. And Jack Edwards saying, and DeAngelo, poor sport that he is, because he is. He's a petulant child, let's face it. And no one likes him. Alright, the problem is we lost Game 5 by a 5-1 score. But we won Game 6 5-2, but now we've got to go to Carolina. This is trouble. We've lost 5-1, 5-2, and 5-1. 15-4, the margin over the 3 games. Just a fucking nightmare. And we don't even have the regular season to back it up because we were shit against them in the regular season too. But I think we can do it. I don't think we will, but we definitely can. We just have to focus on the defending, and hang on to win. Alright, Red Sox update. We're shit. Last in the AL East, 11-20, below the fucking Orioles. Recently had a 5-game losing streak. Alex Cora shaved his beard on Monday, but we've only had 2 games since then. We've won 1, 9-4, and then we lost 1. We're 5.5 games out of the new 3rd wildcard spot. And thank God for that. We have some sort of hope. Our rotation has been outstanding, but our bullpen has been horrific. Oh, our offense has been worse. We have 7 qualifying hitters. 4 of the 7 qualifying hitters have an OPS below 576. The average OPS is 680, which is absolutely awful. And let's backtrack for a second. Rob Manfred and MLB needs to stop fucking with the baseballs. Every year he does something to the baseball. Juices the ball, unjuices the ball, plays with 2 different balls, gets the seams wrong. And the offense has been atrocious. And yeah, I don't think the players were in their best interest to agree to end that lockout because, let's face it, they're fucking with the baseballs to stop top free agents. 2019, they juiced the ball. All the top free agents were pitchers. 2022, they deadened the ball. All the top free agents are hitters. MLB has not deserved the benefit of the doubt. That it's not a salary maneuver. 680 OPS for the entire league. That would be the lowest OPS since 1972. That's the year before the AL had a designated hitter. Now the AL and the NL have a DH. The batting average is 234. Let me look this up. I think this is going to be even longer. I know 68 was 237. That would be the lowest batting average since... Oh, God, I'm not sure if it's ever. Lowest batting average in the history of the sport since 1871. 152 years. This would be the lowest average ever. Wow. And MLB isn't even fixing the issue. This is a money grab by baseball. They want to stop the top free agents. There's going to be a lockout once the CBA is done. It's going to be another one. And I don't think this one's going to get resolved because you know MLB gets a money grab. Everything with baseball is a money grab. Oh, let's talk about the streaming services as well. When you're trying to get more people to watch the games, you put the games on streaming services, which less people have than regular TV. If you really want people to watch the games, how about you put them on YouTube for free if you really want to focus on people watching the games? No, I don't think that's what you want. You just want your money. Rob Manfred, you do not care about baseball, and neither do the owners. And that's all there is to it. That's why he doesn't care if the average is low. He doesn't care if offense is broken. All he cares about is whether he gets his money. Fire Manfred. All right, Patriots schedule release. I wrote an article in the press box on medium.com about this. I'll link that in the description below. NFL schedule released last night. Our strength schedule is 496, which is below average, but it seems tough. Of course, we have to open the season in our house of horrors in Miami, in the heat and humidity of Miami. Really, the NFL wants us to start 0-1. That's all they want. They hate us. Really, we aren't the Patriots of old anymore. You don't need to hate us that much. We have five primetime games, the maximum allowed, which is a little surprising because we're not going to do very well this year, and we don't have a lot of big draws. We have the Bears on Monday night in Week 7, and then we have 4 straight primetime games toward the end of the season. Thanksgiving against the Vikings, another Thursday night game against the Bills. Versus the Bills in primetime has been pretty good for us during the regular season, not during the playoffs. Monday night against the Cardinals and Sunday night against the Raiders. Those are pretty tough games. Hopkins will be back from a suspension for the Cardinals by then. Our bye week is in Week 10, which is really good. We have a brutal close to the season. 6 straight games against teams that finished above 500. That is insane for a strength of schedule that is below 500. Wow. We end with the Bills, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, and Bills again. Yeah. 6 straight with teams above 500. We have to start 8-3 or 7-4 if we want any chance to make the playoffs. This AFC is going to take 10, possibly 11 wins, depending on tiebreakers. Wow. And 3 of those 6 are absolutely brutal. 2 against the AFC and likely Super Bowl favorite Bills, and another against the AFC champion Bengals. And this is going to be hard to start 8-3 or 7-4. We still have the Dolphins, Steelers, Packers, and Colts who all finished with the winning records, as well as the Browns, Ravens, and Vikings. That won't be easy, although we did catch one break as Deshaun Watson may be suspended for the Browns game against us. However, we actually got somewhat lucky in scheduling rotations with this awful schedule still. Instead of the tough AFC North, it could have been the brutal AFC West, though we still have to play the Raiders because we finished second along with them. At least it's not the Chargers because Staley didn't go for the tie. Staley's got some issues, but must be working for them. Somewhat. They didn't make the playoffs. Instead of the NFC North, we could have played the much tougher NFC West, though we still have to play the Cardinals, but besides, they are probably the 3rd best team in the division. This is going to be a very tough season for us. I think we're going to go about 8-9, nowhere near the playoffs. I'll link this article down below. All right, on to the Premier League. Man City are 3 points ahead of Liverpool in the race for the league title and are increasing their goal difference rapidly. KGB scored 4 against Wolves. A huge win. And they got huge win after huge win, and they may be able to afford a loss in one of their last 2, as long as they win the other. Unless Liverpool absolutely destroys the opposition in the last 2 games. Liverpool have an FA Cup final against Chelsea. Please win it. Please, Chelsea. Please win it. I need that FA Cup. We've lost 2 FA Cup finals in a row, and I want to end Liverpool's quadruple hopes. Don't leave it to City. Leave it to us, the champions of Europe for now. Oh, heaven forbid Liverpool win the Champions League. City have West Ham away, who are contending for Europe, and Villa with nothing to play for at home. And Liverpool's last 2 games after the FA Cup final will be at Southampton and home to Conference League contending Wolves. So schedules are about even, give or take. All right, top 4 race heating up. Huge win for Spurs in the North London Derby. 1 point back of Arsenal. And we are 4 points clear of Arsenal and 5 points clear of Spurs. Huge edge on goal difference. Need 1 point or 1 time for Arsenal or Tottenham to draw points to secure Champions League football. Which was a bit stressful, but I think we're going to do it now after that huge win over Leeds. Huge 3-0 win. Huge 3-0 win. That was season saving. Now, on to the relegation battle. Everton have 36 points with 2 games left. Burnley, 34 points with 3 games left. And Leeds have 34 points with 2 games left and a vastly inferior goal differential. Both Burnley and Everton, one of these teams will be relegated. Leeds are trying to not have their second season syndrome result in disaster. Burnley are trying to keep their great escape alive. And Everton are trying to keep their 68-year streak of top-flight seasons alive. Second longest in English football. I think Leeds will end up relegated. I think Liverpool will win the league, and I think Tottenham will finish 4th after Arsenal draw 0-0 against Southampton. I have a link to that article below as well. My predictions for all remaining Premier League games. All right, other NBA news. The Heat have beaten the Sixers in 6 games, and Doc Rivers' job may be in jeopardy after another disappointing playoff. He's had disappointing playoffs everywhere since our title with the Celtics. They're calling on Jay Wright, the recently retired Villanova coach, to take over. I don't think he's going to take it right away. It might be a couple of years. But I think he will coach the NBA. It's a lot less stressful in college because NBA has a GM. They don't have a transfer portal or massive recruiting needs. Warriors up 3-2 over the Grizzlies. Grizzlies won Game 5 without John Morant, who is out for the rest of the postseason. Mavs dominate Game 6 against the Suns, and this series is going to a Game 7. All right, on hockey. Lightning and Maple Leafs tied 3-3. Lightning won in OT. And there's another Game 7 for the Leafs, which is their 5th since their last postseason series win in 04. Please, Tampa, beat the Leafs. Make them miserable. Please. Penguins lead the Rangers 3-2, but Sidney Crosby is out for Game 6 with an upper body injury. Panthers lead the Caps 3-2 after a huge comeback from 3-0 down to win it 5-3. Avs swept the Preds, only team to win the series in 4 or 5 games. Flames lead the Stars 3-2 after their 3-goal third period to win Game 5. Blues beat the Wild 4-2 after their 5-1 win in Game 6. Oilers are forced to Game 7 after their 4-2 win over the Kings. Evander Kane is on fire this postseason. Had 2 goals, should have had another if they didn't blow the whistle prematurely. Oh, Canadians have won the draft lottery. Fucking hell, they get Shane Wright. Jesus, I hate Montreal. Not just because I'm a Bruins fan, but I just hate them. Their arrogance. They think they should be at the top of the NHL because they were 30 years ago. Well, that was 30 years ago. There's better teams now. Shane Wright is an elite prospect, though. He's been the number 1 player in this class for several years. And he could turn them around pretty quickly. All right, I have an article on the NHL playoffs, also on medium.com, that I will also link. The Stanley Cup playoffs have been full of blowouts. Through half of the Game 5s, there were 6.64 goals scored per game, which is extremely high and is very entertaining, but average margin of victory is 3.06 goals. Only 3 overtime games in the first 36 games, although one of them was a 3 OT game. I want to see more OT playoff hockey. Margin of victory was a 1-goal margin in 7 games, 2-goal margin in 6 games, 3-goal margin in 9 games, 4-goal margin in 8 games, 5-goal margin in 4 games, and 6-goal margins in 2 games. Almost 2/3 of games have been decided by 3+ goals, and more games have been decided by at least 4 goals than 1 or 2 goals. Very tight series, but very anticlimactic endings to games. I originally thought empty net goals was the issue, but no, most of the empty net goals were in 2 or 3 goal games before the goals. 7 times in 1-goal games, 7 times in 2-goal games, and 8 times in 3-goal games as teams have smartly decided to empty the net earlier in blowouts. I think this is easily correctable and will correct itself over the course of the postseason. It's very cyclical in nature, and 36 games is a very small sample size. The NHL season has 1,312 games. I think the high scoring will remain, which will be very entertaining. And in other news, just brief, quick news. Russian teams have been banned from the Champions League and the Europa League due to the invasion of Ukraine. What was I about to say? The Europa League final will be next Wednesday between Frankfurt and Rangers, which should be a good game. I think Rangers will win that 1-0. Should be really good for Rangers to win a European trophy at their 50th anniversary of their last one. Oh, and COVID is hitting the MLB again. Multiple Red Sox players have had COVID, and now the Guardians and White Sox game has been postponed, and I believe a second one has as well. COVID, the never-ending disease. Started with sports, and it keeps going. Started with Gobert in the NBA, and it's hopefully ends with a team with a new name and 2 pairs of socks. Oh, and the best story of all, I'm saving this one for last. Rich Strike has won the Kentucky Derby. One of the most insane stories ever. Rich Strike was not even in the Kentucky Derby as late as Friday. Had 80-1 odds. Was way back in the field. Not even close to being in the top 10 even. 3/4 of the way through the race. Final furlong. He just went off. Won the Kentucky Derby at 80-1 odds. Wasn't even in the race before it started. Insanity. And if another horse did not pull out of the competition, he would never have the chance to show what he could do. Wow, that is insane. He has not raced in the Preakness either, which is shocking for a Derby winner, but he's never raced on less than 3 weeks rest before, but I would have been like, fuck it, let's try it. I mean, it's worth a shot. It's immortality. Triple Crown. Put the well-being of the horse first, and you can't really blame it, but it is kind of sad to see, and a loss for horse racing, but Saturday was a win. Alright everyone, thanks for watching Nathan Talk Sports, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to read my Medium.com articles, follow me on Medium, follow me on all 3 of my Twitters, podcast, regular, and Chelsea, and same with all the YouTube channels. I'll put all those links in the description below, along with some articles I've talked about, and thanks for watching. Have a great week.